All right, we're back now, and there's my finger. Wasn't cut; it was just barely nicked, in other words. But it's going to bleed a little bit, so I don't want to get blood all over my Cardinal. You know, it's going to be painted red anyway, but I don't want it to be a bloody red. Now I left that nick in there for a reason, because you will cut yourself at times. You will. There's nothing wrong with that, folks. I'm going to tell you something. You will nick yourself at times, and I wasn't even carving when I did it. I was holding it. What happened is I was holding it like this. Let me show you. And I ran my finger. Actually, the knife was like this, and I just ran my finger over to pick this up, and I just barely nicked it across the blade, and it nicked me. So I keep, one of the things you want to do is if you do, keep you some Band-Aids available for incidences like this, because and put pressure on it, and it'll stop. It's already stopped bleeding. Okay, now, and that's the way a wood carver does. So, you know, if he has a little nick like that, he just goes on. That's all. So mothers and fathers, don't get scared when your kid nicks himself, please. You know, I mean, don't. This is just that's just something that's going to happen to you. And anybody that's carved a while knows it's going to happen. Okay, now, and these knives are so sharp that you just, you know, you just touch them. You know, like if I just take my thumb and press with too much pressure, I'm going to cut my thumb. That's all there is to it. All right, now let's get over that. And what I'm going to do with these wings is like this. The first one, let's take, and what I want to do is take my knife and go completely around this part of the wing right in here. Okay, I think you may be kind of getting an idea of what I'm going to do here. Okay, now then I want to take my knife and I want to remove the wood away from here. Okay, and away from here, and away from here. In other words, I want to remove that wood on the outside in here, and I want to give that wing a little depth is what I'm doing. Okay? And especially in this area right in here, I want to give it a little bit of depth. And I'll show you what we're going to be doing. Not so much in this area, but in this area. Okay. So I'm taking a little bit of wood away from here, and right from here. Okay, now the same thing with this. Okay, I'm going to come around, and I'm going to come up around here, and I'm going to remove that wood from underneath here. You may have to end up redrawing these wings when you do that, see, because you're going to be taking some wood off in this area like this. And see, I had a carving glove on, folks, but it got the hand that didn't have the carving glove. So it's easy to do. And I'm going to take the wood off right in here. I'm going to have to redraw probably that area in there, but that's okay. See, like that? See how it's looking now? And that way I can bring this area down here to make this stand out. See, I can bring this down here and make this stand out right here. And I'm going to bring that down some more. I'm going to continue to do that now in this area. I'm going to bring that down. Well, you'll know what. One thing for you, you'll know if I'm wearing the same pants. I don't know if I can get this blood out of here, but I'm sorry. I don't mean to make joke of it. It's you know, I know there's people that's had to go to the hospital because of it, you know, but that's the first time, I guess, on camera, on my projects, that I've really nicked myself. Maybe I have in other times. I don't know. But if I have, you know. And the thing is, don't let it discourage you, folks. Don't let it discourage you. It didn't discourage me. That you just put that Band-Aid, to keep a Band-Aid around, put it on, and go on. That was the way I was taught when I was young anyway. But every once in a while that's going to happen. Okay. Alright, now once I get this area down here on this, let me then paint. Oh boy. Draw from this point on up into this area here. See? There. And I'm going to do the same thing on this. Watch this. I come around. I come up. And from that point to here, and I will start removing wood from this area. And I'm going to bring this down. See, that's why I wanted to kind of get these get this area down right here. There we go. See how it looks? Before I took too much off of the ends here and stuff. There it goes. But it gives it kind of a three-dimensional type see that? Do you see how that is? Now let's take a little bit more off into this area. That's why I didn't want you to round off too much before we did the wings, because, you know, then you don't have enough room. This is only a 3/4 inch piece. See what we're doing here? Now I'm going to come a little bit more in here and take off a little bit more in here. This, you have to really kind of work it in these areas because it's a very thin area. There we go. Now, and these areas here, especially up in this area here, is kind of so that we'll give depth to this here. Kind of bring these closer, like in here. There we go. Just come around like this. There we are. See how it gives the depth? Now I'm going to come back here and just come a little bit. And when it all comes together, you'll be able to see. All right. Now let's add a little depth to this area right here. Okay. Let me, I'm about out of time here. But you see how we're layering this? And I'll show you how we do this.